All right, we're back. We're back. And I'm talking about legacy and welcome back. The word of the week this week is legacy. And talking about legacy, we have a word of week, a Bible text every week. And our Bible text comes to us from Psalm 57, verse 2. And my question is, what would you want people to say about you from a legacy perspective? I was talking about the fact that people talk about want to be kind. They want to have somebody who knew that they were considerate, and also someone that was innovative. And I believe that many people want innovation to be a hallmark of who they are. But in an honest sense, there's so many others who are seeking to understand the reality that other people live in. And I'm back after the technical difficulty. Thank you so much for being with me today. And some people want to be known as being innovative. But I want to share with you a few ways to create the legacy that you always wanted. Here are 5 ways to create the legacy that you always wanted. Some people really want a legacy of being able to say that they were loved, they were loving, and they were kind. And I'm going to tell you, the 2 people that I lost this week, or so many of us lost this week, were Henry and Sharon Fordham. The Fordhams were an amazing couple. It was like they were like the Kennedys for people who are in my area that I grew up in, Black and Adventist. And for some people who may not understand the connection between others, there's so many people in so many other African American communities who find ways to connect with each other. Some people through fraternities and sororities, some people through education and academics, other people through business, but a lot of people I know connect through church. Many of my friends in Church of God in Christ, the AME Church, all these other different religious communions connect through some way. And our church lost a giant of a man and a giant of a lady, Henry and Sharon Fordham, this past week to a house fire. And this past week, I was called in to do corporate debriefing with their team for this $25-30 million organization. It was so cool because a lot of people that work in the organization are people that I grew up respecting and looking up to. Now, I want to share with you the fact that here are a few ways to create the legacy that you've always wanted. All right, number 1, you got to be willing to write your obituary and live backward. Write your obituary and live backward. What does that mean? In other words, what would you want somebody to say at your funeral, memorial service, or event that was going to happen in a way to celebrate and honor your life and memory? Write your obituary and say, I accomplished these goals, this, that, and the other. You can find this information also on meaningful ways to do this on my website from the Built to Thrive Discovery Guide. Now, the other thing that I want you to know, that in addition to writing down your obituary and living backwards, I would suggest to you that as you write this down, just check off every goal that you make. There's some people who make a lot of goals and plans, but you really don't finish anything. But write your obituary and live backward. Then the second thing I would suggest to you today is become a superhero in somebody else's story. Become the superhero in somebody else's story. There's so many people who are watching now who know that you had a superhero, somebody that was in your life, somebody that was in your experience, somebody that actually was a superhero. That person did not have a cape on. That person did not have maybe a scrub jacket on. But I'm going to tell you that everybody has somebody they look up to as their superhero. My dad is my superhero. I've seen him go through a lot. I've seen other people who have been positive and made positive deposits in my life. We all have somebody that has positively contributed. So what would you want somebody to say about you? I mean, what would you want somebody to say about you? But I want to be a superhero husband and a superhero dad. Everything else kind of goes beyond that. Connecting with people, I love it. But if I got the 2 girls that I have and they don't look at me as a superhero, I'm doing something wrong. I got to do something better. Dr. Myron Edmonds has his whole business mindset model after helping men to become the superheroes. And then I'll say the next thing. You got to help people who cannot give back to you in return. There's this principle called disinterested benevolence. And in other words, it basically says, I'm helping you and I can't get nothing out of it. Too often there's a price tag on stuff. There's a figure. There's some a bartering involved, but have you done stuff for people who just could not do nothing back for you? So I'm listening to these stories all week long, and I'm hearing the stories about the Fordhams, Henry and Sharon Fordham, hearing how the man was in Tennessee, heard that somebody died, and turned his car around and drove all the way back to Pennsylvania all night long just to be with someone. Then I heard another story. I drove all night long. Well, obviously he was a big driver, but how can you help people who can't give back to you in return? I mean, you got to be willing to create a legacy, a lasting experience that somebody can say that they got something from you as a result of being with you. It's not just about taking. Oh my goodness. The more I'm realizing, the older I get, it's more about giving. And then I'm going to tell you this. I'm telling you this. Number 4, you got to take some time to create some lasting memories with people that you love. There's so often, I mean, how many times have you gone to a funeral and you've seen your family members and you ain't talked to your family members in a long time? And some of these people, they need the same care, support. They need the same love and affection. They need the same innovation ideas. And some people need to be challenged as well. But have you taken time to to make and create lasting memories with people who you love? So I have a mentor who's a very senior elder in my life. And he told me after his wife died, he said, man, I want you to do something that will probably help you. You may not understand it right now. He said, I want you to do something that's going to help you in a meaningful way. He said, don't just take pictures. He said, take videos. He said, because after the person is gone, you want to be able to hear their voice. You want to be able to see them. You want to be able to experience them. And I'm going to tell you, he said, that's the thing that made the biggest difference and impact in my life, actually taking the pictures. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people are actually waiting for some kind of big moment to happen in their life as opposed to enjoying what they have at the present. And instead of waiting for some big thing to happen, I want you to know that it's time to create the lasting memories with people who you love. Shout out to Beverly Burgess today. I've been blessed to be able to connect and partner with her in so many different things. And making memories has been such a blessing with Miss Burgess, her family, and her organization. The other thing I would like to say about creating lasting memories is that sometimes it may not always be advantageous for you to do it. It may be that extra phone call. It may be that extra text message. It may be just going over, just saying, how you doing? And some people they just appreciate your presence so much that they don't know how to put it into words, but they really need you and they really appreciate you. You are really a superhero in somebody's life, but they waiting for you just to give them that dose of encouragement. And then I want to tell you today, you got to make every moment, enjoy every moment you have, taking in the beauty of it all. Now, are all moments beautiful? No. Do they all feel good? No way. But I'm going to tell you, the one thing I always appreciated about Henry and Sharon Fordham is that they did life together. Now, the Fordhams, you're going to hear a lot. You might see a lot on your friends' Facebook pages or things like that about them. But I want to tell you today that the Fordhams found a way to help the person who felt like they were the least feel like they were the best. And I want to tell you, enjoy every moment. There's some beauty that can be found in nature, beauty that can be found even in the desert. There's beauty in the city, and there's beauty all around us. Last night, I don't know if you saw it, but there was this moon last night that was kind of well lit, but it looked red, like it was on fire. And so my wife said, she said, honey, you got to check this out. So I said, what is it? She said, the reason why the moon was looking such an amber way last night didn't look like the usual, whitish, off-white moon. But she said the reason why is because the embers of the fire were coloring the perspective of the moon. And so everybody saw a different perspective of that color as a result of the fires burning. And I want to tell you, even though there are fires burning, and don't want anybody to say, oh man, you don't care. No, it's true. I do grief. I talk about it every day. But there's some beauty even in the challenges and the sad times. Let me tell you, this couple, Henry and Sharon Fordham, were two awesome people. He dressed like he was a cowboy, but he was from South Philly. And she dressed like she was Indian and she was from Ohio. two great people, two amazing people, but two people who left a lasting legacy with people all around them. I want you to know today that what you want people to say about you, it not only starts as you get into the hospital and people start saying kind things about you, but I want to share with you, just to recap, a few things, ways to create the legacy that you've always wanted. Number one, you got to write your obituary and live backward from your obituary. And in doing that, you'll find yourself accomplishing goals and doing things. You can find more resources on this on the Built to Thrive page. Then also become a superhero in someone else's story. There's some people who are just waiting for you to be a superhero. And believe it or not, your voice really, really matters. There's just sometimes you may not appreciate your own voice, and you may think just because maybe where you work, you're not getting like that time off, that time that showtime, the prime time, or whatever you deserve to be having. But your voice really matters. And then help people who cannot help you back in return. That's really important, of helping people that cannot help you back in return. And then I would suggest you take time to create lasting memories with people that you love. You've got to take some time to create the lasting memories with people that you love. And then finally, you got to enjoy every moment you have, taking in the beauty of it all. Well, I hope that you have a great rest of the day. I've been blessed to be able to spend just a few moments with you this Saturday morning. Please know you can go to my website, www.builttothrive.me/resources. And please know, for coaching opportunities, please send me a message on the Built to Thrive page or on this medium that you're watching on now. Please know that every week we're here for recharge, encouragement, and inspiration. And it's been my hope, my desire, my prayer that you've been inspired, you've been encouraged, and you've been blessed. And I'm also thankful to be able to see my friends on today. Beverly Burgess, thank you so much for coming back. Also, Cherie Moore, the writing coach, best writing coach in the world, and Anel Ward, my friend. So good to see you on this morning. And I'm so excited to be able to share with you that coming up very soon, we're going to be talking about how to create a legacy that's going to be meaningful and impactful. And thank you so much. The last thing I'll say about this legacy piece is that there are people who are depending on you to actually help them to live their best life. Well, I hope that you are learning how to live your best life with me, and I look forward to journeying with you each and every Saturday morning. Please like, subscribe, or share this broadcast with someone that you know. And thank you so much for those who have donated to the Cash App. We got some upcoming equipment. Somebody called. I was talking to someone yesterday about what I was trying to do. They said, man, how much do you need? I said, hey, this is how much I need. They said, no problem. I want to be a blessing in your life and encourage you in all that you're doing as well. Want to give a special shout out to all my friends. But today we're going to shout out the Grant Guru, Beverly Burgess. Thank you so much for all you do. And we want people from that network to be on this show as well. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Blessings to each and every one of you. And as we look forward to expanding, we look forward to building together. I'm Julian Johnson, and I approve this message. I hope you have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your week, and an awesome weekend. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.